Welcome to TMZ Live. Charles, by the way, will be back tomorrow. There was an insane party in Los Angeles, in Beverly Hills, on Saturday night. And in terms of net wealth, 3 people alone made it $1 trillion party. This was Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party, and it was held at the home of Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez in Beverly Hills. They own a house called the Warner Estate, which is one of the landmark properties in Los Angeles. They bought it from David Geffen a while ago for $165 million. It is this incredible spread, and there were more than 300 people there. And I am telling you, this list, I just want to go through this. This is just a partial list of who is there. First of all, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, who is the host, and Bill Gates alone brings you close to that $1 trillion. But here are the names: Oprah Winfrey, Mariah Carey, Adele, Meghan and Prince Harry, Paris Hilton, Snoop, Mark Zuckerberg, Jay-Z and Beyoncé. We're going to get into Beyoncé in a second. The Biebers were there, Kyle Richards, Tyler Perry. They were able to somehow scrape together enough money to get a performer for the night, and that would be one Bruno Mars performed. And it had a theme. It was a 007 bash, which is 00. The 7 is 70 for Kris Jenner's 70th birthday. Stay on that picture. Go back, if you would, to that picture that we just saw. This is Kris Jenner. Kris Jenner is 70 years old somehow, but it is the best plastic surgery I've ever seen in my life. I have never seen better plastic surgery. She simply wins. By the way, she's very open about that she had it. She looks like Kim's sister.
Yeah, I think it's kind of crazy too. I mean, you see all the sisters there, of course, looking absolutely to the nines with the theme as well. And like Kris standing next to them, she could just be another sister.
I've never seen anything like this.
It's incredible. And yeah, talk about star-studded. I mean, you had the ball of the ball there this weekend.
So the Beyoncé thing is interesting because we haven't seen a single picture of Beyoncé, but we're told she was there.
So we're told the way because every other celebrity got papped because they got off at the street and walked up. They closed their car, pulled in, they closed the gate, and then her and Jay-Z got out and walked up after the gate closed.
But she for sure was there.
For sure there. I spoke to someone who literally saw her get out of the car.
So here's what else is really interesting. So this estate is massive. It's massive. And at some point, the Beverly Hills police get called.
Well, Bruno Mars was performing.
And they get called because of a noise complaint, that it was so loud. Remember, Bruno Mars is performing and all, and it is Saturday night, but this is a hoity-toity area of Beverly Hills. Totally. And you just know that there were neighbors there who just aren't used to being put out because they pretty much get everything they want in that area.
We joked on the show too, like this must be like the only 70th bash to like get the cops called on.
But also, if you're smart, you would invite your neighbors to this party.
I know. I mean, that's the funny thing, that they didn't do that.
The neighbors.
But neighbors were acres away. Like they must have been loud.
It must have been really, really loud. So the police come out. They give them a warning, but they don't shut the party down.
I mean, how do you shut that party down?
Well, no, but here's the thing. They leave, and then there's another call, and they come back because there were these fake hedges that the Sanchez's and the Bezos's, whatever, they put up to kind of block the view of the people coming in and out.
For sure, you can see it.
And it was blocking the road, and they didn't have a permit for the hedges. So the police came back and said, you got to move the hedges. And so they moved the hedges. And I mean, just the funny part about this is that when you're that rich, you just do what you do. Yeah, and
totally.
This time, the police came and they kind of schooled him, which I think is really interesting. It doesn't matter that it's Jeff Bezos.
Right.
But, by the way, we should say, it was thrown by Kris's daughters.
Yes.
And obviously the kids were there. Kim was there.
What's interesting is someone told me they didn't see Rob.
Right.
And there's no photos of Rob either. Where was Rob?
Rob doesn't show up to anything.
Yeah.
And this one especially, you would think, because he's close to Kris.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really close. I think he just hates socializing.
And that's fair.
And I know somebody I'm not going to say, obviously, somebody who went to the party. And it was really interesting. The way it was put to me is that everybody has, well, a lot of these people have connections with each other, and it almost becomes business and not fun.
Totally.
Because you've got to network with certain people and you have to talk to certain people.
Careful what you say, yeah.
And this person was just saying, yeah, I'll put in my time, and then I'm going,
How many?
Gosh, I'd love to put in my time at Kris Jenner's.
But no, because it for a lot of people, it's work.
Hi, I'm Pravi from Florida. And when it comes to Beyonce and Jay-Z, first and foremost, they're definitely exclusive VIP. So I think that when you see them, it's because they're allowing it. And maybe they were just being considerate because even though this was super star-studded and everybody looked amazing, they probably didn't want to take the attention away from everybody else. But also when it comes to the police being called, I think the neighbors just wanted an invite. I can definitely understand with the hedges, wanting things to be in order. But it feels like the neighbors wanted to get an invite and they were like, let us in. And if they can't see, then maybe that's why they kept calling.
No. Bro, Brendan said is right. That it's party etiquette is you invite the neighbors because then they won't complain. And they're sitting at home on Saturday night when the clock strikes 11, maybe 10, they get pissed off. So we got in a raging argument this morning over a photograph that actress Rachel Lynn Matthews posted. She's the actress in Batwoman. She was at a Halloween party with Orlando Bloom. This is what she posted. Seems sweet on the surface, but when you look a little deeper, she is wearing what Katy Perry wore when she took Blue Origin up into, quote, space, and is dressed like Katy Perry. And this is Orlando Bloom posing next to a faux Katy Perry.
Which is not okay. It's not okay. I know that they've been broken up since July, and they're not together.
And that Katy has already moved on.
She's moved on, but when Katy went up in the space, she was hated. Everyone was mocking her, making fun of her. It was one of the lowest points of this year. And then so now you're posing with this girl at a Halloween party.
It's funny.
They were together for 10 years.
It's funny.
It's not that funny if you're Katy.
Okay. First of all, Katy Perry has moved on. Secondly, she loved going to space. So no matter what people said.
But this girl's mocking her. She's not doing it as an homage to Katy Perry. This is a straight mock.
Okay. You mock me all the time.
And how does it make you feel?
It's funny.
Okay.
It's funny.
Sometimes you said that your feelings get hurt, though.
And I joke about that. It's funny. And she is a public figure. She's already hooked up with Justin Trudeau.
Yes, but
No, it matters. It matters. And this is a Halloween costume.
No.
If anything, it's an homage.
It's not. They have a kid together. And she just did that song. Remember how Katy Perry just released the song and it said how Orlando Bloom was basically terrible?
So what's he supposed to do? Sit in the dark now?
Not take a photo with her.
Well, hold on. She didn't say Orlando Bloom was terrible.
She said he never asked how she was doing and how her day was. Never asked about her feelings. Don't think he's thinking about her feelings.
He said that she said he had moved on. That she wasn't into him. He wasn't into her anymore.
Yes.
Okay, well that's just the way he felt.
And clearly he doesn't care.
But they get along because they were on a yacht together with their kid a month after they broke up.
They can co-parent. She can.
So they're fine together. You are.
No.
You guys are reading.
If this was a random person, maybe. But if
you're reading stuff in to what her emotions are, and you think she's gonna. Oh my God, you wore a blue origin. Give me a break.
What do you think that Katy Perry is gonna think? You think she's laughing about this?
Yeah, I think it's funny. It's funny.
Your sense of humor is terrible.
No. But hold on. Katy Perry is looking at somebody who could have picked any costume in the world, anybody in the world, and she picked Katy Perry.
Yeah.
And here's what people.
When Katy Perry got told that she was unlikable.
It doesn't matter. Here's what matters. She's relevant. And that's what matters to celebrities, if they're relevant. And if she picked that outfit, she's relevant. And that's what stars care about. And it's just true. And you guys have got this thin skin about, oh my God, you're well, it's true.
No.
You have thin skin. And this is your generation.
The only thing that I'm hearing is that you're calling me skinny, so I'll take it.
Piff from Minnesota. Both Katy and Orlando can't keep away from people who love a controversial costume. And as goofy as Katy Perry's antics have been, Honestly, Orlando is too damn grown to be doing all of this petty stuff to the mother of his child.
Wait a minute.
Especially when Orlando is just
Wait a minute. He just took a photograph. I mean, this isn't like, he didn't spend an evening doing this. He took a photograph with her.
But we don't know exactly what happened behind the scenes of that photograph. That's what we need to know. That's what I'm curious about.
Well, but nobody's going to know but them, and Katy Perry's not going to find out. So whatever happened behind the scenes, who cares? You guys make such mountains out of molehills. This is crazy.
Coming up.
The verdict is in for Kim Kardashian. She is not guilty of being a lawyer because she flunked the bar exam.
Be right back.
The verdict is in for Kim Kardashian. She is not guilty of being a lawyer because she flunked the bar exam. Friday night, she found out that she failed the bar exam in California. You know that Kim did not go to college, didn't go to law school, but there is an end run, which is doing an apprenticeship. I think it's for around 1,500 hours with a lawyer, and then passing the baby bar. And Kim took the baby bar multiple times, eventually passed it, made her eligible to sit for the real bar exam in July. So between July and now, it was nail-biting time. She found out that she flunked. Here's what she posted on Saturday. She said, well, I'm not a lawyer yet. I just play a very well-dressed one on TV. 6 years into this law journey, and I'm still all in until I pass the bar. No shortcuts, no giving up, just more studying. And she went on to say, thank you to everyone who has supported and encouraged me along the way so far. Falling short isn't failure, it's fuel. Now, this is so interesting. I was so close to passing the exam that only motivates me even more. I didn't know that you get the results if you fail.
Yes, we didn't know because we passed.
Oh, God.
And no, that is the difference. I actually didn't know, but she got a detailed score report of how she did on the bar.
And
there are three different parts.
And she says she was close.
She says she was very close, so she feels motivated. She's going to take it again. She'll have to study again. There's another administration of this test in February. It's twice a year. She can take it. And we'll have to see where this goes. The bad news, and this is not gloating. The bad news is that your passage rate and chances of succeeding go way down. As first-time takers, even though it's only a 50% passage rate, you have a 68% chance of passing on your first time. What drags it down to the 50s is that on your second time or more, you drop down to the 20s, 23% passage rate. So you get in your head, it becomes more difficult to pass over time. So this is not a great sign.
By the way, she posted bikini pictures the day that she announced the results as some kind of a diversion.
Different one than she studied in. She also posted studying pics earlier. You know?
I will say this. There is a difference, many differences between Kim Kardashian taking the bar exam and us. Because when we took the bar exam, we were singularly focused on one thing, the bar exam. We had already gone to law school.
Where we learned how to think like lawyers.
Yeah, and in her case, she has 4 kids, an ex-husband who is off the rails. She has a business empire that she has to manage, an acting career that she's dealing with, and many, many other things. So the idea that she could come close to passing is so admirable. And
which
really,
I take her at her word. That's true.
You love that she flunked. And I was rooting for her. And I just think that she came close is remarkable given what she had on her plate for a really difficult test. And I think that's kudos to Kim.
It is, but all
you don't
the privilege
mean this.
in the listen.
You got to be sincere.
I will. I will sincerely say all the privilege in the world, all the study, and she hasn't.
You're not.
I am. I'm flattered that she wants to join our profession. And become a lawyer. But
are you happy or sad she flunked, Eric?
I can't say I'm surprised. You want the actual emotion? Are
you happy or sad she flunked?
I don't know who likes to root against people, but
Derek has one thing over Kim Kardashian in his life, and that's what he wants to hold on to.
I lord it over.
Hi, my name's Alondra. I'm from Austin, Texas. And low-key, I feel like we're all surprised that she failed. But I guess money can't buy everything. But I'm cheering for her. Like you said, Harvey, she is a really busy woman. And I am so grateful that she's still trying to pass. And she motivates us who are in the same boat as busy as her. But cheers to Kim.
Yeah, and look, I really want to underscore this. She had so much going on in the middle of having to study for this exam. I think it's remarkable that she came close. She's going to pass this exam. Okay, good news, bad news for Sydney Sweeney. Her movie now has some Oscar buzz surrounding her. Her performance in Christie, really good. And that's the good news. The bad news is the movie tanked. $1.3 million domestically. That is a bomb. And so in 2,000 theaters, 1.3 million, it did not hit the mark. It was interesting. Sydney said, I thought this was interesting, I'm proud. Why? Because we don't always just make art for numbers. We make it for impact. And Christie has been the most impactful project of my life. Thank you, Christie. I love you. Thing about the movie, I think, is that Christie Martin is not a household name. And, you know, when you think about it, the first thing that came to my mind was I, Tonya, with Margot Robbie, who played Tonya Harding. And that did well. And I think the difference is that the Tonya Harding attack was really a cultural phenomenon. You know, when her boyfriend hit Nancy Kerrigan with a crowbar and Nancy screamed, why? And there were prosecutions. And it was such a cultural moment that people connected to it. And I think they wanted to see behind the scenes. I don't think Christie Martin is the same.
I agree with you, and I feel like based off of Sydney's, at least what she's saying publicly, she doesn't care about the numbers, though. She did this because she wanted to tell Christie's story and highlight domestic abuse, all that stuff. She also did an interview recently where she got into the actual making of the movie. She suffered multiple concussions while making the movie, and was all battered up. And she claims that, you know, all these fight scenes are real. She said recently also that she's open to doing a charity boxing match, which I don't advise her to do. I mean, I'm all for charity, but
How long have you worked here?
You want to know what's crazy? 10 years. I got an email on Sunday that I've been here for 10 years. I've been here half the time that TMZ's been up and running.
So, okay, so you've been here for a decade. Do you believe that Sydney Sweeney doesn't care about how it did in the box office?
I do not.
Of course you don't. I mean,
you saw the promo they did for this movie. Like, they were doing everything to get eyeballs on it.
Of course.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's the story or if people just want to see Sydney Sweeney be sexy. I don't know what the problem was.
Well, that may be something too. Although, you know, I don't want to throw shade, but Margot Robbie.
So you're about to throw shade.
Well, Margot Robbie was not exactly glamorous in I, Tonya.
True.
But she cares. I mean,
I think they all do. They try to pretend like, oh, I'm this actress or actor and I just care about the art. But you look at the numbers.
Of course you do.
I'm Simone. I'm from Mississippi. And honestly, with Sydney Sweeney, I'm so glad that she had fun. I'm glad that she got to step into her power in the film. I honestly wish that we got to see more of her character in the movie, because I honestly forgot that she was in a movie in the first place, because she was so busy selling Sydney Sweeney bathwater soap and showing her great genes that were passed from her parents. Like, to my understanding, film press runs are supposed to get us into the character and like have us get to know her character, and we didn't get that. Maybe
well, it wasn't a press run, number one, when she was doing the American Eagle ad. And number two, I mean, Sydney Sweeney's had a lot of success. Euphoria, huge. I would argue she is A-list. Not solid A-list, but she's A-list.
Coming up.
Gavin Newsom, it's great to talk the talk, but how's he doing in California? We have a situation where we have all sorts of problems in this state. One of his supporters is Senator Ben Allen, so we thought it might be interesting to bring him on. Senator, welcome to TMZ Live.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
BB Rexa was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too. Did you just say, look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at.
TMZ!
Welcome back to TMZ Live. Gavin Newsom is the star of last Tuesday's elections. Proposition 50, the redistricting proposal, passed by a significant margin. A lot of people thought it wouldn't, and it's all due to Gavin Newsom, who was standing toe-to-toe with Donald Trump. However, I will say, as a native Californian who has lived here many, many decades, that it's great to talk the talk, but how's he doing in California? We have a situation where there is very little progress in rebuilding after the Palisades-Altadena fires. Very little progress. We have a huge homelessness crisis. We have all sorts of problems in this state. Hollywood is dead, and we can get into that in a minute. So the question, Gavin Newsom is the strong man right now against Donald Trump. But what about how he's done in California? So one of his supporters is Senator Ben Allen, state senator, who has actually done some really significant work when it comes to the rebuild in the wake of the fires. And he's a big supporter of Gavin Newsom, so we thought it might be interesting to bring him on. Senator, welcome to TMZ Live.
Nice to see you.
So what about what I just said? That it's great to talk that talk, but I'm looking at what's going on in this state, and it hasn't been good for the last 10 years, and in many ways, it feels like it's getting worse.
Yeah, I'm a native Californian too, and I share all the concerns that you have. What I would say is that progress is slow and steady on homelessness. There's been significant drops over the last couple of years since the pandemic, which really hit us so hard. On TV film production, I was personally very involved in the passage of the big TV film tax credit expansion and extension. I also serve on the Film Commission. We just greenlighted 22 new TV productions and 52 new films. That production's happening now. So it was, we knew we needed to start being more aggressive to bring back more production. That was a program that Jerry Brown had originally supported way back in the day, but it was always a little skeptical of, and we dramatically expanded it, and that's helping a lot.
So can I stop you on that? I'm in this business right now. We shot a show a year and a half ago that we had to shoot in Atlanta because we couldn't afford to do it in California. I know countless producers who are shooting in Tennessee, in Kentucky, in Canada, in New Zealand, in Ireland. Hollywood, I know you're saying that, you've got these new productions. The way people in this industry view it, and I think I'm pretty connected, Hollywood is dead. And it's dead because it's too little too late to suddenly relax regulations because a stranglehold was put on this industry. And you got to blame that on people at the top. And the people at the top are the people who pass the regulations. So maybe Newsom should have stepped in a lot earlier before it was RIP to Hollywood.
All the things you're saying are correct. That absolutely was a trend, and that's what we're trying to reverse with the passage of these tax credits. And you're not wrong. I mean, I've been one of the people. I represent Hollywood. I've been banging the drum on this issue for a long time, and I'm just really glad we were able to get this thing through. It was passed in June, signed in June, and now literally, I think 80 new productions have been greenlighted through the Film Commission, more than ever before. And there's a lot of work happening as a result already.
So let's talk about the fires for a minute, because I know you have a bill that would basically make insurance companies almost automatically pay for at least 60% of the rebuild and damage, which is great. But Gavin Newsom, and again, I'm not saying this to go after Gavin Newsom. I am saying it because he's now emerged as the strong man. And, he is being tough on Donald Trump. But I'm looking at what happened in this state. He had a hard hat on, and he was talking to all local media out here when the fires went down and was saying, we're going to rebuild, we're going to clear the path, we're going to do all this stuff. These cities have been decimated going on a year, and there has not been significant progress. So I'm just talking about leadership right now, that it's great to come out with a hard hat and say, we're going to relax regulations and do this and that. Why has there been nothing? I mean, virtually nothing, and people are really suffering.
You go up to the Palisades, everywhere you look, there's building happening. I mean, the Sunset Boulevard is filled with, folks coming up and down, with construction materials.
I went there. There are 300 homes that are that are in various stages of rebuild. There are countless times more that aren't, where people just can't do anything. There are 11 permits, a grand total of 11 permits that have been issued for rebuilds in Malibu. 70% of the damaged homes in Altadena are showing no progress. I don't consider that rolling up your sleeves and showing leadership. I just don't.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting, right? Because your point on Malibu is a good one, right? Malibu as a city has really not prioritized permit streamlining compared to the city and county of Los Angeles, which have been faster, but they could be better. I mean, one of the things that Santa Rosa did after their fires, they just dramatically ramped up their permitting review process, and they were literally having people reviewing permits for their city all over the country who had expertise, and they would work with the residents. And there hasn't been enough of that in Los Angeles, quite frankly. Very little of it in Malibu. But even city and county of LA haven't done enough from my perspective.
We're about out of time. I'm just wondering, just bottom line it. I hear the victory lap for Gavin Newsom, but is it fair criticism that in California, we're just not seeing the strength of leadership that he's telegraphing nationally?
Things are happening. I mean, I think you're a little more doom and gloom than I am, but it doesn't mean that there's not truth to some of the criticisms you've been articulating today. And of course, the governor's got to both focus on that type of real grassroots bread and butter work and helping the state rebuild while also pushing back on the president. And he's got to balance that. And those of us that are working with him are always going to be pushing him to do more within the state as well.
Look, I really appreciate you coming on. Thanks for the healthy debate.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Go Gauchos.
Go Gauchos.
Coming up.
Okay, this is not political because I praised President Trump when it came to the Middle East peace. So I'm not always for him and I'm not always against him. What he said today is outrageous about air traffic controllers in the middle of this reprehensible shutdown.
Be right back.
Okay, this is not political because I praised President Trump, when it came to the Middle East peace. So I'm not always for him and I'm not always against him. What he said today is outrageous about air traffic controllers in the middle of this reprehensible shutdown. And I say reprehensible for all concerned in Washington, D.C. Here's what he said. All air traffic controllers must get back to work now. Anyone who doesn't will be substantially docked. For those air traffic controllers who were great patriots and didn't take any time off for the Democratic shutdown hoax, I will be recommending a bonus of $10,000 per person. For those that did nothing but complain and took time off, even though everyone knew they would be paid in full shortly in the future, I am not happy with you. That's outrageous. That is outrageous that he would say something like this. These guys are getting a 0.00 paycheck, multiple paychecks of nothing. They have stressful jobs. They are working overtime. They need to feed their families. They need to pay for medical care. They need to pay car insurance. They need to pay for their car loan. They need to pay for a million things, and they're getting no money, and a lot of them are living check to check. They are Uber drivers by night. They can't do it. They can't handle it. And it's Donald Trump's fault. It is the Republicans' fault. It is the Democrats' fault that there is a shutdown that has gone into a record territory. And he's blaming them that they need to get other jobs, that they can't work for nothing. How dare they? They're not patriots because they're not working. That's outrageous. Again, I don't care what political party you're from. That's just
what's got you so mad? What part of this has got you so outraged?
Do you know that there were two planes, big jumbo jets at LA that took off and came within seconds of colliding.
Right. Are you making my case now?
Do you know who averted it? It was Pilot Air. You know who averted it?
ATC. They're incredibly. I think that's the whole point, though,
I know.
Harvey.
They can't. They are stressed out. They are.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Forget the shutdown. On a normal day, they are stressed. There's not enough ATC.
Hold on. So you slam them with
Well,
this?
I don't know. It's look.
They're not patriots? Are you kidding me?
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Don't love that language. The reality is
that's what I'm talking about.
The reality is these are very well-paying jobs. They make good money.
They make
and
decent
they are
money.
going to get paid. Everyone knows they're going to get paid. I get that it sucks.
Hey,
I get it. And the Democrats
can I stop paying you for a month?
No.
Okay.
No.
Would you?
No, wait. No. If you told me, hey, I can't pay you for the next month. I'll pay you in a month of 5 weeks. I would say okay.
And can you afford to do that?
Yes.
Guess what? About 3/4 of the country can't. They're living paycheck to paycheck.
And open the government then. Get the damn government
yeah, Donald
open.
Trump, open the government.
Okay, it's not
yeah,
Donald
Republicans,
Trump.
open the government. Yeah, Democrats, open the government. It's outrageous
But it's everybody when it involves something.
Don't blame air traffic controllers. Don't say they're not. Don't say they're not patriots.
But you would expect police.
Don't say they're not
You would
patriots.
expect police to be out there. You'd expect the fire people to be out there, and it's the same thing. They've got a critical job.
And what do they do if they've got a kid who's sick and they can't afford the medical bill?
And the government needs to open. Is the bottom line.
So some of them decided to take off and work so they can feed their family, and they're not patriots because of that.
I'm with you. I don't love the language.
Hi, it's Shanna from Pennsylvania, and this is what you call completely damage control, not leadership at all during this administration. You have the American people working, and they went for days without pay, and now you want to dox them. Yes, the amount of the bonus sounds good, but you cannot live off of air alone. So this is not a good look for President Donald Trump at this moment.
It's disgusting. And by the way, Babcock just leaned over to me and said, by the way, you got to pay me. He did. Okay, Kris Jenner may have had a big fancy party for her 70th birthday in Beverly Hills. There were better parties in Los Angeles, namely the TMZ After Dark tours on Friday and Saturday night. They were amazing. Rockstar hosted, Mr. Ray hosted. They actually kind of had a hip-hop off on, I believe, Sunset Boulevard. And these guys had so much fun. I mean, we have a DJ on the bus. We have celebrity hosts on the bus. We have new bars we're stopping at. It was amazing this weekend.
Every bar in town wants to be part of this now. So we added 2 new bars, Beaches WeHo, and Powerhouse on Hollywood Boulevard. But yeah, like you said, Love and Hip Hop, the show kind of came to life because we have these buses going past each other, and now you're having a bus war where one bus is like, no, we're more lit, and the other bus is like, no, we're more lit.
And by the way, you don't need Mark Zuckerberg to have fun.
He's not fun.
This was so fun. And so we Saddle Ranch?
We went to the Saddle Ranch. That was a grand finale.
People get to ride the bull there, the mechanical bull.
You get shots at each bar.
And then on Sunday, by the way, the After Dark tour fueled by Monster.
Fueled by Monster Energy, the best drink in the world, quite literally. I'm not just saying that. I love Monster.
Every morning she has one.
This, by the way, right here.
Director of Fun.
Director of Fun.
That's
James.
me.
He's the Director of Fun. Brunch bus on Sunday.
The brunch bus was so good. We had Mike Merrill host. He's an actor, and he was amazing. And he loves TMZ so much that he shouted out our 20th anniversary.
Which is today.
And he had everyone do a cheers because, you know, it's a very special moment for us. And the brunch bus went to 3 amazing brunch places, the Henry, the Tom Tom.
Which is Lisa Vanderpump's place.
Lisa Vanderpump's Tom Tom. And the Butcher, the Baker, and the Cappuccino Maker.
Where you get empanadas.
Empanadas. The best in the world.
It is just so fun. So anyway, you can check out monsterenergy.com.
Head to monsterenergy.com for more information.
And we do this every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it's, again, sorry, Kris, it's the best party in town.
Yeah,
and
so
it's
much
getting
better.
bigger. It's getting bigger.
Coming up.
Okay, Thanksgiving is coming up, and politics is looming its ugly head again. This hit home with Jimmy Kimmel and his wife, Molly.
Thankfully, my immediate family, they did not vote for Donald Trump.
Okay.
They did the first time, a few of them. We flipped them the second time.
Be right back.
Okay, Thanksgiving is coming up, and politics is looming its ugly head again. There are families divided, obviously, because there are MAGA supporters and progressive Democrats in the same family. Can they get along? Do they want to get along? Is one side boycotting the other side? This hit home with Jimmy Kimmel and his wife, Molly. They were on the We Can Do Hard Things podcast, and they talked about, especially with what happened to Jimmy this year, of what they foresee for Turkey Day.
Thankfully, my immediate family, they did not vote for Donald Trump.
Okay.
They did the first time, a few of them. We flipped them the second time. It's weird. When Donald Trump was first elected, I was so upset. We all were. But I remember thinking, I understand it because I grew up in a very conservative Republican house. So there's like a little bit of sympathy I have for people in my family that I feel are kind of being deliberately misinformed every day. It hurts me so much because of the personal relationship I now have where my husband is out there fighting this man. And to me, them voting for Trump is them not voting for my husband and me and our family. And I unfortunately have kind of lost relationships with people in my family because of it.
This has been an issue for you, right? You've talked at length about how people on different sides of the aisle should be able to communicate, should be able to have respectful communication.
And not lose friendships and family over it.
But they're in a slightly different situation. His career was jeopardized specifically by Donald Trump. He specifically targeted Jimmy Kimmel with some success, actually got him taken off the air for a little while. And so do you see it a little differently when she's been so specifically targeted?
Yeah, but then you think about the other side. And if somebody is a supporter of Donald Trump and they support him for whatever reason, but they may have many, and then all of a sudden it suddenly hits home, how easy is it to say, oh, then I hate him now?
Well, no, you don't have to hate him, but you have to. I think what she's asking for her family to do is to say I was wrong. And what he did to you was unfair. I think that's all she's asking
are you
for.
saying if she said that her family were still Trump supporters, but in this case they would say he was wrong on this one, she'd be okay?
I got to tell you, if somebody came after my family, personally my family, I would turn on that person. I don't care how I felt about them before, right? You circle those wagons a little bit, and that's all she's saying is that I'm interpreting. All I was expecting is my family to circle the wagons on this, and they didn't. They continued to
But if they circle the wagons but still supported Trump, you think she'd be okay?
No, she would be. She clearly wants it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Ajani Benitez, Brooklyn, New York. Usually I say it's like pretty silly when families separate and have like conflict over political debates. But I guess it's a little bit different when you're making a little bit of money like from having a certain position. So it's like them voting for Trump in their mind is them literally going against like what's putting money on the table and providing for their family. So it's a little bit different in that situation. And I kind of get where she's coming from. But at the same time, too, nobody was able to predict like the tragedy that happened and then what happened after with Jimmy making the comments. That was like September 17th. Trump was inaugurated like in January 20th. So it's kind of like a backdated grudge in the sense like they didn't know that they were going to be at war until like, almost a year into the presidency.
I kind of love that term. I never heard it before. Backdated grudge. That works.
Coming up.
Okay, Taylor Swift, here's a lesson on how to get excited when your man scores a touchdown. Cardi B went crazy when Stephon Diggs scored a touchdown for the New England Patriots that went on to win, and all you got to do is see this.
Be right back.
Okay, Taylor Swift, here's a lesson on how to get excited when your man scores a touchdown. Cardi B went crazy when Stephon Diggs scored a touchdown for the New England Patriots that went on to win, and all you got to do is see this. It is unbelievable.
Oh my God, that's what the talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Talking about.
Oh my God, poor Taylor. She cannot hold a candle to that. And by the way, they may be in the Super Bowl.
I mean, they're number one in their conference, and with a cheerleader like that, I don't see how they stop.
So, boy, would it be amazing if it's the Patriots against the Chiefs? Cardi here, Taylor here. They would play in the conference finals. Who's more entertaining?
at this point, it's definitely Cardi. I haven't seen Taylor make any splashes NFL-wise. You know, she's been a spectator, but she hasn't really given her energy to the game just yet.
Hugging Brittany Mahomes isn't the same.
Facts.
Hi, I'm Taylor from San Diego. To be honest, I saw that video, and I'm not even really a big sports fan, but I think Cardi's reaction, it just makes me want to watch sports. Like, I would watch sports just to watch it with Cardi, because she has a larger than life personality with no filter. And I always appreciate her for keeping it real like that, even if you can't understand her sometimes.
Yeah, well, who cares? That's just icing on the cake. Okay, every weekend we put polls up on the website to find out how you feel about things that we posted last week. We did it this weekend. Here are the results. Tom Brady cloning his dog. Sweet or stupid? I think they're going to say stupid, even though I think it's kind of nice. Predictable. Next, David Harbour and Millie Bobby Brown. Are they really feuding, or was the whole feud thing years ago BS? I think it's going to be split even. That's my guess. Nope. Oh, that's interesting. So people didn't believe it. Next one. Gold's Gym feud over women's locker room. Transgender women should not be allowed, or their women let them in. Definitely they're going to say the first. By a lot. And they did. Next. Ban billionaires, so says Billie Eilish. Absolutely, they're destroying America. Or insane, that's capitalism, baby. I don't know. I don't know. Ha! Look at that. That is really interesting. Okay, last one. Diddy drinking in prison. By the way, his reps say that's not true, but we got that from inside the prison. Punish him, or no way, everyone drinks behind bars. They're going to say punish him because they wanted him guilty of more than they did, and they did.
Coming up.
So today is the 20th anniversary of TMZ. 20 years ago today, we posted our very first video, our first story. Happy anniversary, TMZ.
Be right back.
So today is the 20th anniversary of TMZ. 20 years ago today, we posted our very first video, our first story. And it was Paris Hilton, who at the time was dating a guy named Stavros Niarchos, who's the heir to a Greek shipping family. And they were in his Rolls Royce. He was driving out of a club. And here he is, as he wants to just book it from the paparazzi. He slams into this truck. And then, rather than stopping and exchanging information, he just hightails it out of there. Well, that's crime, by the way. You can't do that. That's called hit and run. So our camera guy chases the car a couple of blocks by foot, chases the car. He's running and running and running. And then he sees Paris 2 blocks away, and she's screaming, "Stop, you're scaring me." And then the car keeps driving. And then 2 blocks later, our camera guy's running and running and running. He sees Paris with the LAPD, and rather than doing a field sobriety test, which they should have done, trust me, she blows a kiss to the cops and says, "We love the police." And they let her go. And so it's the first video that we ever put up, and it really made some waves, obviously because of the LAPD as well as Paris. Happy anniversary, TMZ.